Hello everybody, this is Kotlin Thursdays. I'm Ben Rodriguez, and known on Twitter as API Champion. With so many languages out there, you might be asking yourself, why should I learn Kotlin? I asked myself the same question, and for me, I was interested in learning Kotlin because it was one of the fastest growing languages within the developer community, according to both GitHub contributions as well as Tech Republic analysts. Many are praising the flexibility and interoperability of Kotlin with the JVM. So this is Kotlin allows for Java developers to code within their current projects into a different language, one that many believe is easier to use and easier to read. Again, I'm 42 years old and haven't written in Java and Spring in a very long while. I really like learning this language because Kotlin programming makes fun again, and this is a large part thanks to the very strong community. I'm learning how to develop a different way, and that makes my mind adjust to new patterns. Functionality Kotlin is different, but like Java, it compiles down to bytes, so a developer can flip back and forth between Kotlin and Java. Kotlin made the most sense from a readability standpoint, which we will see in the rest of this video. Within this lesson, which is both the blog post and a video, I'm going to discuss some of the resources available for someone who can learn Kotlin. There will be online classes, websites, and books. This course, like all training materials, does have a few assumptions or prerequisites. This lesson assumes that you have a minimal amount of programming knowledge and that you know what an integrated development environment is, can install a plugin called EduTools, and understand build tools and have access to the internet. So let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is show you 3 different courses that are out there right now that are getting a lot of great reviews. This recording is taking place November 3rd. And so some of these classes, by the time you see this, may have been updated or there may be new classes out there. But for now, let's go over a few classes. So the first one I wanted to show you is Coursera. This is Kotlin for Java developers, and it's brought to you by JetBrains. And it's brought to you by the developer advocate, Svetlana Isakova, and taught to you by Andrei Breslev, who is the Kotlin project lead for IntelliJ. For JetBrains. This has gotten a lot of great reviews as of yet. This course came out about 3 weeks ago, and a lot of people are really liking it. We are using it where I currently work as a method for people to learn how to use Kotlin, especially those that are new to Kotlin and new to Java. So there is assumption here for this course that you do have some Java background. Another class that I really like and from a company that I really enjoy talking to is Team Treehouse. Treehouse has another course. It's about 2 hours long, and it's mainly focuses on Kotlin and Kotlin as a use for a replacement for the Android language. In this one, you're going to be building Kotlin around Android apps, and you're going to learn more about classes and Kotlin classes and building out a game that's all going to work well on an Android app. Really can't say seeing high praise. I really can't say anything bad about this course or Treehouse in general. I've taken many courses from there, and they have a really good understanding of how to teach adults, which is critical as people are learning how to do Kotlin for the first time. Another class, and this takes you from 0 to Kotlin Hero, and this is for the absolute beginner. So if you don't have any programming knowledge and want to hop right in, I definitely recommend this Udemy course. A lot of people have said really great things about it. It's about 6.5, maybe 7 hours long, and well worth it. So it'll tell you how to set up your Kotlin on your machine, install your JDKs in your IntelliJ. Really can't say too many bad things about this course. That's going to definitely get you into the right path. So I'm going to take a pause. Next up, I wanted to talk about a few books that I highly recommend. The first one is Kotlin in Action. Kotlin Action, written by Svetlana Asakova and Dmitry Jimbarov. If you remember Svetlana, she is a developer advocate working at JetBrains for Kotlin. And this book really lays it out, gives you step-by-step guides on how to use Kotlin. It does assume that you have some experience as a Java developer, but we've also found that people who are coming from backgrounds with Ruby, Node, JavaScript, they're able to catch on with this book and really, really enjoy it. I think we have 3 or 4 copies at my office, and we're definitely always trying to track this book down. The next book we really, really like is the Big Nerd Ranch Kotlin programming book. This book is really great, and Big Nerd Ranch really breaks down step-by-step guides on how to use software, especially with programming, building out new tools and applications. This book really handles this well for you. It's got some good reviews so far, and we cannot say bad things about this. This goes along with their Kotlin programming class. So if you want to take that too, that's an option. This does assume that you do have some background in Java, but if you put a little blood, sweat, and tears, you'll be able to get through it. It's not that hard. Once you start to understand the context and the syntax, you'll be moving along quite quickly. The last book I wanted to talk about is Microservices with Kotlin. This is a really, really important book for us. This book came out about, I'd say, I guess I can do my math really quick, 10 months ago. And this by far book, not only is it a great book and it gives you step-by-step guide on how to build Kotlin microservices with Spring and Spring Boot 2.0. This book also, my little joke is this book has developed legs. This book, we have 1 copy right now, and if you can see, I ordered a couple of more because it does seem to wander off, and people seem to be using it quite a bit, simply because it does tell you exactly what we're doing. Step-by-step guide on how to build microservices with Kotlin, which is what we're doing at my office, and it's very exciting to see some guidance and some help. Thanks a lot, Juan Antonio Medina Iglesias. We really appreciate it. This book, by far, is one of the best. So next up, we're going to go over to some Kotlin Koans. Now we're going to head into Kotlin Koans. There's 2 different ways to learn Kotlin Koans. There's 42 lessons. There is a website on try.kotlinlang.org. And I like to use this if I don't have my computer, or if I'm in between meetings or on the train. I can execute some of these lessons and get my better understanding of Kotlin. The other option that I really, really enjoy is using a plugin by EduTools, which I have in the blog on how to install. So the first situation here that I looked at, this is the first one. This is your hello world, if you will. So when I first saw this to-do function, I'm used to seeing something like this, where we write, Ben, fix this, your code is busted. So when I saw this, I didn't know exactly what to do, this to-do function. So I first tried this, and I just put OK, because to make this pass, there's tests in the back. They take a look at the function syntax and make the start function return the string OK. So I did a check. And then I realized, whoops, it's incorrect. And then I read carefully again. It says, in the task, the function to do, which I didn't realize this was that, throws an exception, which you can see here. So my next thing was like, well, why don't I just delete this? Wham. And let's check. Woohoo, it passed. All right, so that was the first one. And so now I'm a dangerous Kotlin programmer. So next, we're going to try to get this one. So here's a conversion tool, so you can just copy paste. This is an excellent tool because it's going to show anybody that ever asks, hey, like, well, my devs or engineers, they don't know Kotlin. So how are they going to be able to transition their code into Kotlin? Aha, well, I got a good trick for you. Thanks to IntelliJ, you can go to here. Here's the code, standard Java code that's going to write into Kotlin. Or standard Java code that's going to return a string. So what you would do here, convert Java code, and bam, that was it. Now this code works. So, thinking that's all I had to do, right? Hit check, bam, it's not working. So then, I realized, okay, you can just copy the paste the Kotlin file and agree to convert it. So what I tried, I realized this is not working. So what I did is I copied this because the test is not working somewhere. So I went to the task KT, and so then I pasted it here. So then I realized, okay, so I did again my favorite technique, which is delete it, bam, 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 and then I ran the check again. Bam! So it works now. Now we're headed to the final Kotlin Koan for this video. And in this one, we're going to take this function and deploy, and well, I'll just read the instructions. We're going to take the library function join to string as declared with the values in the following parameters. Join to string, and we want this collection of strings to be returned in the JSON format. So what I can tell here is that there's no hard brackets. So it's going to return a string, but I need that string to be in JSON. So I need to figure out a way to add these brackets. So I go and I click this and I figure out, okay, what is this asking me for? Okay, default arguments, declarations, returns, functions. So this is what I started looking at. It wasn't super clear as to what I was supposed to do here. And so I went back to this one, the one online, just to see if there was anything else I could try to figure out. This didn't quite tell me what to do either, so I went to like here to this join to string, and so then I saw, oh, okay, so this is what's happening, this is what's going on. So then I was kind of stuck because I didn't know what to do. So then I just started playing around. So I went back to the named arguments, and so this is where I was like, well, I know this to-do has got to go away, and I know that this is going to probably be something in the front. So then I tried. I followed along, and so I just saw that it said prefix, so I was like, well, this is going to append the answer. And thank you, IntelliJ, for helping me out. Oh, that's that. And then I was like, oh, I bet you then there's going to be some sort of post. Yep, it's called postfix. Sorry for that. IntelliJ decided to be IntelliSmart, which, you know, we've all been doing that before. So then I was like, well, let's close the bracket. I'm not sure if this is going to work, but I was like, I'll give it a try. And then I was like, yes, it works. So I was really excited about that. Just learning what the configurations and what the syntax was with this language. This is super exciting, and this little tool, Kotlin Koans, gives me that kind of motivation and that intelligence parts that I need to keep me wanting to learn more. All right, well then that's it for my first Kotlin Thursdays overview of Kotlin Koans. Next time you see me doing these, I'll keep covering the Kotlin Koans, and we'll get through a few more. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good day.